Well, good afternoon and welcome once again to Ed's Orchids. Now, as you can see, the Dendrobium nobile that I bought a couple of weeks ago is now in full flower. So I've just been looking at how I can keep this going and bloom it for next year. So I'll just show you the plant in full. There we are, turn it round a bit so you can see it all. And I think that's a very lovely plant. Now, I've been doing a little bit of research and trying to find out what it needs and one thing and another. So we'll start off with the potting mix. Well, don't pot it in too large of a medium, because the roots on these are only very thin. But you've always got to make sure that when you do water, the water runs through very freely through the medium. This is a thing that you should do with all the orchids. And like all orchids, this will need water. And it'll need water at different levels depending on the time of year and the conditions in which they're grown. Well, if it's in a growing period, keep them well watered, and then water again when the compost is almost dry. How can you tell then when it's almost dry? Well, that's simple. Just get a bamboo skewer, stick it in, and when you pull it out, if it's wet at the bottom, it doesn't need watering. It's as simple as that. Now, when they finish flowering and the leaves have started to fall off, so you've got to reduce watering to once every month or so. This, along with giving them a cold spell of a few weeks through the winter months, helps them with the blooming once again. Like all orchids, they'll need plenty of light all the year round, but keep them away from summer sun. And although these will accept temperatures in the high 80s, just make sure they get a good cooling off period in winter and a good nightly drop in temperature of 10 to 15 degrees centigrade. If a wrinkling of the pseudobulb starts to take place and the leaf tips start to shrivel and go brown, this could be a sign of giving it too much light. And it goes without saying that they do appreciate a good humidity, and if you've given them a good humidity, then you've got to give them adequate ventilation to prevent fungal diseases. Now, these are natural epiphytes in the wild, so fertilise them very weakly, spelt with an A, and fertilise them sort of every other second watering. Well, that's all I can say about this, so I hope it's been of help to somebody. So we'll go on to the next subject. Well, as you know, I keep all my plants indoors at this time of year now, and I'm doing this for the first time to see how it goes. And they're all crowded together on the table, and what did I do? I knocked this spike and the forthcoming buds off the Epidendrum ciliare. So I've got to wait another 12 months before that one flowers. This is the Paphiopedilum farianum that is just about opening now, and I'm a bit disappointed with it actually, because the colours aren't as intense as they shouldn't be, and the sepals aren't turning up at the edges as they should be. And it's, apart from that, it's not opening fully, but they're a beautiful plant, but not very easy. Paphiopedilum farianum. Well, I've moved down in the greenhouse now, and I thought we'd have a look at what I've got in here. Yeah, as you know, there's some cymbidiums and dendrobiums, and that's all there is, apart from this live moss that I've still got to put some water in the bottom, and it seems to be doing fine. And then there's this you missed in the last one, my new pH meter. That's the packet it came in. And analytical instruments. Right, let's have a look at it. It's difficult with one hand. It's a little bit more expensive than I used to pay for these. There we are. Oh, I'll get the tripod, it'd be much easier. So we've got some RO water here, and we'll not test its temperature because it'll be icy cold, that one. So we'll just switch it on. Yeah, you can see all the... And then we'll dip it in the water and see what happens. Here, look at that. You've got to wait for ages and ages and ages for it to right itself. I mean, sometimes to get an accurate reading on these pH meters, you've got to leave it in the solution for 20 minutes or so. Anyway, we'll come back to that one. I'll leave it in and see what it finishes up at. Oops. Well, here we have some not very beautiful cymbidiums. I just put this back bulb in this one, and then we've got a new growth. This is about 2 years growth on this one. Don't ask me what it is, there's no labels on any of them. There might be a label on one. Then we've got some of the delicate Dendrobium delicatum cakeys, which are growing on. There's one there, another one down here somewhere. Here we are. That's growing on. And by the side of it we've got these cymbidiums growing very nicely, getting a bit tall on that one. And another one here. Not looking badly at all. These should flower by next, what, February, March, something like that. And come down here, this is quite a big cymbidium we've got. And if I look closely, there may be the signs of a flower spike coming up. Unless it's a new growth, somebody might tell me about that one. Is that a flower spike or is it a new growth? There's a nice little black bulb I put in just a few months ago. I'll have to keep that well watered now. It's showing up a little growth. These Cymbidiums here aren't doing very much, although they look okay. There's one with a spike on here. There we are. That looks a bit strange at the top, but I don't know. Might just suddenly burst into flower with a bit of luck. Oops, that's me just knocking the new pH meter over, which now reads switched off because I've knocked it over. Oh dear. Let's have a look. Put it back in. It's come down to 6.92 and still falling. 6.89 now. So keep an eye on it. Then we've got some more cymbidiums here. You probably can't see them for the yellow bucket at the back. And then we've got this big, absolutely massive. You can see all the pseudobulbs on it. There must be 50, 60, 70 at least. This Dendrobium delicatum. That should be nice next February. It should be one mass of flowers. Well, the pH has stopped going down on the meter now, and it's 6.53, which is ideal. Absolutely lovely. So that's my new pH meter, which I'm very pleased with. Well, there's not much to show you that I haven't shown before, but this Goldiana's still looking absolutely beautiful. Another bud to open yet. That's looking really nice, the Nanthera philippinense. And the light's doing pretty good in here. This is the Mars Hydro SP150, doing very nicely. You know, I think these were originally made to grow cannabis. That's why you've got to put your plants so low down on them. You know, the light's so bright on these that you can't put it too near the plants, or else you'll get all the leaves going bad and yellowing and all sorts of colours. Far too much light. So you've got to put these away. Nice and hot and humid in here, about 80%, which will be good for the cattleyas. I've got this growing here, the humidifier, and the fan sat on top of me, what do you call it? That thing you can print off. Yeah, my printer, that's what it's called, right? Oh well. Anyhow, that's all I can show you now. We'll leave with another look at the Goldianas. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you all later. Bye.